Cryptozoology is the search for and study of animals whose existence or survival is disputed or unsubstantiated, such as the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, and the Chupacabra. While some may look at cryptozoology as a waste of time and people just chasing made-up stories, there are a few times where the efforts of cryptozoologists pay off and their findings tend to be beyond belief. On the opposite side of the coin, there are cryptids that come off as quite scary and menacing, and certainly not something you'd want to see in person. I'm Melvin the Crimson Taurus, and welcome to Unexplained Possibilities 10 Cryptids that you hope aren't real. Emerging in at the number 10 spot is the Bronze-Nosed Dragon. The Bronze-Nosed Dragon is the name of a lake monster which is said to inhabit Lake Bronzno near Andropol in West Russia. It is described as resembling a very large dragon or dinosaur and has numerous legends about it that date back to the 13th century. One legend says that the Bronze-Nosed Dragon scared off the Tatar Mongol army that was seeking to invade Novgorod in the 13th century. The story goes that Batu Khan and his troops took a rest on the sides of Lake Bronzno. As the horses were venturing down to the lake to get water, a large roaring creature emerged from the water and started devouring horses and soldiers. Batu Khan troops were so terrified that they turned back and Novgorod was saved. It was also rumored in the 18th and 19th centuries that the giant creature emerged on the lake's surface in the evening, but immediately submerged when people approached. It is also said that during World War II, the creature swallowed a German airplane. Stories of the Bronze-Nosed Dragon continue to this very day, as locals claim that the creature turns boats upside down and has to do with the disappearances of people. Coming out of the shadows and into number 9 is Black Shuck. For many centuries, the people of England have passed down tales of a large black dog with flaming eyes that are red. According to reports, the dogs vary in size and stature, from that of simply a large dog to being that of the size of a calf or even a horse. Sometimes Black Shuck is recorded as having appeared headless, and at other times floating on a carpet of mist. According to folklore, Black Shuck roams around the area's East Anglia, primarily coastlines, graveyards, side roads, crossroads, bodies of water, and the dark forest. Some legends state that the dog's appearance should be taken as a bad omen, and seeing Black Shuck means the observer's almost immediate death. However, there are also stories that tell of Black Shuck terrifying his victims, but leaving them alone to continue living normal lives. In some cases, it has supposedly happened before close relatives to the observer die or become ill. Black Shuck is certainly one Fido that doesn't want to play fetch. Floating in at number 8 is the Flatwoods Monster. In West Virginia, the Flatwoods Monster is an entity reported to have been sighted in the town of Flatwoods in Braxton County, West Virginia, United States on September 12, 1952. Most describe the entity as being at least 7 feet tall, with a black body and a dark glowing face. Witnesses described the creature's head as elongated, shaped like a sideways diamond, and as having non-human eyes. A large circular cowling appeared behind the head. The creature's body was described as inhumanly shaped and clad in a dark pleated skirt-like exoskeleton, later described as a shadow. After encountering the creature, witnesses have often fallen ill, all with similar symptoms. The symptoms included irritation of the nose and swelling of the throat, and vomiting. A doctor who treated several of the witnesses is reported to have described their symptoms as being similar to victims of mustard gas. There have been a number of witnesses who have come forward claiming to have seen the monster. One account from a mother and her 21-year-old daughter who claimed to have encountered a creature with the same appearance and odor a week prior to the September 12th incident. The encounter reportedly affected the daughter so badly that she was confined to Clarksburg Hospital for 3 weeks. Rooted in the number 7 spot is the umdelbee tree. Umdelbee is a plant species said to originate in Zululand, South Africa. Records show several stories that speak of the tree's existence, but no concrete evidence has been brought forth. The records provide little in the way of physical description and focuses more instead on the extreme toxicity of the tree and its purported ability to move. Several varieties of umdelbee have been described. One account describes umdelbee as a small shrub-like form and a large tree with 2 layers of bark, a dead outer layer, and a new living layer that grows beneath it. Both are described as having red and black fruit and brittle glossy leaves. The umdelbee was reported to be extremely toxic, poisoning any living thing upon approach, perhaps so that the natural process of decay would fertilize the soil in which it was growing. The ground around it was often littered with skeletons. Symptoms of the tree's poison reportedly included chills, headache, bloodshot eyes, severe pain, abdominal swelling, diarrhea, fever, delirium, and death. Howling into the number 6 spot is the Beast of Bray Road. The Beast of Bray Road is a hairy humanoid with canine features that was sighted near the towns of Delavan and Elkhorn in Wisconsin, mainly during the 1990s. The Beast of Bray Road is described by witnesses in several ways: as a bear-like creature, as a hairy biped resembling Bigfoot, and as an unusually large 2 to 4 feet tall on all fours, 7 feet tall standing up, intelligent wolf-like creature apt to walk on its hind legs and weighing 400 to 700 pounds. It also said that its fur is a brown-gray color resembling a dog or a bear. The most famous witness account involving the beast happened Halloween 1999. An 18-year-old woman named Dorothy Gibson was driving along Bray Road when her car suddenly jerked as if she had hit something. She got out of the car and walked back along the road, straining to see. Once her eyes focused, she caught sight of what she had hit. A huge, dark, hairy figure began running toward her. Gibson ran back into her car and began to drive away. The beast reportedly jumped up onto the trunk of the car, but due to the wetness of the rain-covered car, it could not hold on and fell to the ground. Gibson said she drove back to the location the same night with a young trick-or-treater, and they both saw a large figure laying on the side of the road. Gibson reported the sighting the next day, which is what brought the other witnesses out to share their tales. Slithering into number 5 is Yakumama. In the mythology of the indigenous people of South America, the Yakumama is a sea monster 164 feet long, believed to inhabit the mouth of the Amazon River and the nearby lagoons. The Yakumama is believed to be the mother of all creatures of the water. According to the legend, the Yakumama would suck up any living thing that passed too close to its river's edge. To protect themselves, the local Indians would blow on a conch horn before entering the water, believing that the Yakumama would reveal itself if it was present. While stories about Yakumama go back as far as the first European explorers of South America, and many people have claimed to see the giant snake, no one has produced any proof of this creature's existence. The Wildlife Conservation Society even put out a reward for a live specimen that tops at $50,000 US. In 2009, a father and son duo from Belfast claimed to have captured a giant snake on camera, but scientists remain unconvinced. However, is it possible they actually captured the mysterious Yakumama? Lurking in the swamp in the number 4 spot is Bunyip. The Bunyip is a large creature from Australian Aboriginal stories that is said to lurk in swamps, billabongs, creeks, riverbeds, and waterholes. Many Australian 19th century newspapers describe the look of the Bunyip, which include a dog-like face, a crocodile-like head, dark fur, a horse-like tail, flippers, and a walrus-like tusk or horns, and a duck-like bill. An outline image of Bunyip carved by Aborigines into the bank of Fiery Creek near Ararat, Victoria, was first recorded by the Australian newspaper in 1851. According to the report, the Bunyip had been speared after killing an Aboriginal man. Aboriginal people made a habit of visiting the place annually and retracing the outlines of the Bunyip. However, as of today, the outline image no longer exists. Flying into number 3 is the Mothman. In West Virginia folklore, the Mothman has reportedly been seen in Point Pleasant area from November 12, 1966 to December 15, 1967. The first newspaper report was published in the Point Pleasant Register dated November 16, 1966, titled "Couple See Man-Sized Bird Creature Something." On November 12, 1966, 5 men who were digging a grave at a cemetery near Cleveland, West Virginia, claimed to see a man-like figure fly low from the trees over their heads. This is often identified as the first known sighting of what became known as the Mothman. Shortly thereafter, on November 15, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant Shortly thereafter, on November 15, 1966, two young couples from Point Pleasant, Roger and Linda Scarberry, and Steve and Mary Millette, told police they saw a large black creature whose eyes glowed red when the car headlights picked it up. They described it as a large flying man with 10-foot wings, following their car while they were driving in an area outside of town known as the TNT area, the site of a former World War II munitions plant. Two volunteer firemen who sighted it said it was a large bird with red eyes. It's said Mothman is connected to the collapse of Silver Bridge on December 15, 1967. Witnesses claim to have seen Mothman before and after the collapse that killed 46 people. After that, sightings of Mothman dropped significantly. Stalking its way into the number 2 spot is Wendigo. In Algonquian folklore, the Wendigo is a cannibalistic monster native to the northern forests of the Atlantic coast and Great Lakes region of both the United States and Canada. The Wendigo may appear as a monster with some characteristics of a human, or as a spirit who has possessed a human being and made them become monstrous. It is historically associated with cannibalism, murder, and greed. An Ojibwe teacher and scholar from Ontario gives the description of Wendigo as follows. The Wendigo was gaunt to the point of emaciation. Its dissected skin pulled tightly over its bones, with its bones pushing out against the skin, its complexion the ash gray of death, and its eyes pushed back deep into their sockets. The Wendigo looked like a gaunt skeleton recently dysentered from the grave. What lips it had were tattered and bloody, unclean, and suffering from separation of the flesh. The Wendigo gave off a strange and eerie odor of decay and decomposition, of death and corruption. It has been reported that human beings possessed by the Wendigo spirit, after being in a situation of need of food and having no other choice besides cannibalism. It has been reported that humans became possessed by the Wendigo spirit after being in a situation of need of food and having no other choice besides cannibalism. One of the more famous cases of Wendigo reported involved a Plains Cree trapper from Alberta named Swift Runner. During the winter of 1878, Swift Runner and his family were starving, and his eldest son died. 25 miles away from emergency food supplies at Hudson Bay Company Post, Swift Runner, starving, ate his eldest son, and it's believed that's when the Wendigo spirit entered him. Swift Runner would then eventually butcher and eat his wife and 5 remaining children. Shape-shifting its way into the number 1 spot is Aswang. An aswang is a shape-shifting monster in Filipino folklore, usually possessing a combination of the traits of either a vampire, a ghoul, or different species of werebeast, or even all of them together. It is the subject of a wide variety of myths and stories. Spanish colonists noted that Aswang was the most feared among the mythical creatures of the Philippines, even in the 16th century. There are many descriptions of aswang, but several commonalities remain. Aswang are shapeshifters capable of living as regular townspeople. As regular townspeople, they are quiet, shy, and elusive. At night, they transform into creatures such as a cat, pig, bird, or most often a dog. They enjoy eating unborn fetuses and small children, favoring livers and hearts. Some have long proboscises, which they use to suck the children out of their mother's wombs or their homes. Some are so thin that they can hide themselves behind the bamboo posts. They are fast and silent. An aswang will also have bloodshot eyes, the result of staying up all night searching for houses where wakes are held to steal the bodies. It is said that to spot an aswang at daytime, look straight at their eyes. The person in front of you is an aswang if your reflection is upside down. The aswang is the subject of the 2011 feature-length documentary, The Aswang Phenomenon. The film explores the aswang folklore and its effects on Philippine society. The documentary was also the first to uncover the origin of why the western Visayan province of Capiz is suspected as the aswang's home. That concludes Unexplained Possibilities 10 cryptids that you hope aren't real. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed our list and would like to see more, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you have a suggestion for future lists, please let us know in the comments section down below on Twitter or Facebook. With that said, thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.